Ideas from all across the state. We really want to tap into the creativity and the forward thinking that New Yorkers have. This is a esteemed group of people who are going to help us do that and then evaluate the ideas we get. But it is an intense process. We're going to analyze the ideas we get. We're going to group them into common categories, and then we're going to bring them back to this group and get their views on how we can find significant savings in the Medicaid program, lower costs, and improve quality, frankly, which we believe is possible here in this state.
It seems like this is a lot to do in a very short amount of time. You have the deadline March 1st, and then you also have to try and get stuff done. You have to try and get stuff done by November, like get a final report down. How do you plan to do all of that?
Absolutely, it is a major task before us. There's no question about it. But I'm hopeful. I mean, the folks around this table are not just the individuals who are here. They also represent large organizations. They have resources. We need to tap into those resources. This can't be business as usual, where it's a bunch of state employees behind closed doors coming up with ideas, crunching numbers. We really need to tap into the greater New York capacity to think, innovate, and push innovations. And we think if we can do that successfully, we can meet the timelines.
This panel has been criticized, though, for the fact that there are a lot of inside players in the panel. The same people that some might say actually helped bring our Medicaid costs to where they are. So how can you get each person or each group represented here to actually cut back?
Well, I think that this group, it's oftentimes with a state as large as New York, with as many groups as there are, it's very hard to determine what the right 25, 28 people are for the committee, and understand that there are other groups who would love to be at this table. That's why we are going to go out and meet with any group that is interested in meeting. We are going to sit down with them. We really, really, really take seriously the responsibility of reaching out to the broadest set of stakeholders as we can. But when these folks signed up for it, they knew what they were signing up for. This is not an easy task. We have a lot to do in a short amount of time, and we need them to participate. And as was said today, we're asking people to set their group interests aside and really embrace the collective interest of the state.
Do you think that can be done? Because it seems like there's a lot of competing interests, and also the ideas that you heard. Were you confident that they are really more designed for redesign rather than just kind of trimming here and there?
I think that at the end of the day, we need ideas that do both. We need ideas that trim, and we need ideas that fundamentally reform. We have a very tight timeline for this first deliverable product, but what I heard today gets me even more excited, because I think that it showed that there's a lot of creativity. There's a willingness of this diverse group to think out of the box, and that is exactly what we need, because the old way of doing business of across-the-board reductions year after year, cutting reimbursement rates, we got to find a way out of that process. We got to find a way to really bend the cost curve, but in smarter ways. That's what this process is designed to try to do.
Governor Cuomo talked about Wisconsin as a model for Medicaid redesign. Can you talk a little bit about that, and how that would work in New York? Can it work in New York?
I think what you're seeing is when the governor talks about the Wisconsin process, he's really talking about this. He's talking about engaging the stakeholder community in a new and unique way, and that's what we're trying to do. The process is going to be different here in New York. New York's a different state. If you were doing it in Ohio or California or any other state, it would be different. But so far, I feel very good, having run the process in Wisconsin, that we can do exactly what we did in Wisconsin here, although obviously in a slightly different fashion. And in fact, we probably could do it better here, because I think we've got even more sophisticated set of stakeholders who have done a lot of innovative stuff here that hasn't been done anywhere else in the country. We need to tap into that expertise, and that started today.
So the model's not necessarily like what they came to at the end, it's how they got there?
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's the thing, is that in Wisconsin, it was a state, we looked at our issues. Wisconsin had its own issues, its own challenges, and a package of ideas came out that addressed those unique situations. This is New York. We have our own unique challenges. We showed some of those challenges today. We need a package of reforms that address those challenges.